Hope you're doing well. So once again, we will continue with our series of using price action to identify stocks and to form a technical opinion on a stock. So the stock that I have on screen today is Havells, and the reason that I have included this stock for today's presentation is because we are aware that Havells has launched a new series of refrigerators called Colors, and they are supposed to be sleek and, as the name suggests, colorful, and targeted towards a slightly younger homemaking audience. And also, they have used a new channel partner, which is Flipkart, for this. So what it basically means is that at a fundamental level, they have come up with a new product offering and a new distribution partner. And the question is, obviously, this news inflow is positive because uh, you have a new distribution partner, someone who's as mature as these e-commerce and quick commerce platforms like Flipkart. It's structurally positive for the firm because it helps them get a wider reach and to come up with a product that complements this distribution partner's positioning in the market is also positive. But is this really positive on the chart, and is there a trade, or is there a justification to buy Havells based on this news? So obviously the news here is used as a filter. So we see or hear a positive news, clearly something that is positive on the fundamentals, and then we apply technical assessments, and we follow the same process that we have been following throughout. And that is, we will put the chart on the monthly, and once it's put on the monthly, we will focus on the recent pivotal high, and that pivotal high was an all-time high, which means that this is in an uptrend. And we'll focus on the pivotal low. The pivotal low is deep into the range break of the previous high, which means if I just make a horizontal line here and I just darken it a bit, so we will see that Havells was at 1480 levels even in the year 2021. And as recently as 3 to 4 months ago, it has actually, as recently as last month, it has tested this 1480 levels. So essentially in a 4-year period, the security has almost returned zero returns. And in such a case, obviously because of the previous high, we will call it bullish, but such a deep pullback implies that this is a bullish weak stock. And here is the first set of filters for traders. That is, do they want to own stocks which are bullish weak or not? So this is not a bad stock. This is clearly has the full potential of creating a new high. And it looks like it has consolidated for a very, very long time on this zone, at this 1480 zone. And this is obviously an inside day candle on the monthly with the confirmation that followed after that. So a lot of bullish support is happening here. And so means there is a justification for buying it, and the only justification for not really buying it is because you don't want bullish weak stocks but only bullish strong stocks in your in your portfolio. For example, something like this. So this is like a bullish strong stock. The pullbacks are very shallow, but obviously we are not looking at this chart. We are looking at this chart here. The pullback is much deeper. So let's assume that you want to further assess it, and let's just continue to the next step. We'll just move on to the weekly, and once we are on the weekly, we are seeing how this horizontal line plays out as a support. And obviously, once we have this, we want to see, was this oversold? This is clearly oversold here. I'll just put it on the chart, and you can see that this point here, I'll mark it with the vertical line and correspond it here. You will note that this vertical line, which I will also mark with blue and make it slightly dark, this vertical line here and this vertical line here is representative of the price and the point at which the oscillator is oversold. This we are checking upon the weekly, so we know that it's a structurally bullish stock, and we are also seeing that it is oversold. Of course, it was oversold earlier also at this level. It has moved up since 1480. It's at, say, 1580, but a 6% move in like 6 months is not really a move. It's more like a range. So but once again, it is oversold. And once we have got the point at which it is oversold, we simply shift our assessment to the daily, and we will see that this point at which is the oversold zone is reasonably safe to have a stop. It is quite safe to have this kind of a stop loss. We will also see that after getting oversold, this gap up here basically meant that this stock has confirmed an entry. So this looks like a reasonable point of entry. Around 1535 levels would have been an entry point around this. So I'll just mark this here, and I'll mark it maybe green. Yeah. So currently it's trading at 1572. It's this gap up which made the confirmation. This is looking closer to the GST gap up, the Independence Day gap up, which has made the confirmation. And obviously, once we basically check up on the anchor bars, we will see that there is an anchor bar here. I'll just mark this with this vertical line and an anchor bar here with this vertical line. The lows of the anchor bar are pretty close to this point here, which is marked in green, but I'll mark it in orange. And you see that the lows of the anchor bar is basically the low of the first anchor bar here is sort of a good support at the next time. And this is the orange, and that's what I meant by this marks the entry. So I'll just remove the, so this I'll just shift the blue line right near the orange line, because this would have marked the entry. This is obviously trading higher at the time we are seeing. So the question is, the disciplined trader, would he or she wait till it comes till this level, 1518.20 levels, or would you simply adjust on the quantity and take a bet on buying around these levels with a stop loss marked at the red line? And the reason for the stop loss is obvious, that this zone is already protected by anchor candles. We are seeing a lot of them, and it looks like a reasonable zone. Like, it looks like a pretty strong support, supported by gap, and this has come at highly oversold conditions, and the market has been here for a very long time. It's a characteristic of a bullish week security to spend time on a single zone for quite some time. So with that, I think sum and substance would be that the news is positive. News is indeed positive. The price action also looks quite favorable for Havells, even though it is correcting right now and there could be some pressure in the short term, but it looks like this support will hold, this 1450 support will hold. And the only question is whether a trader wants to enter at 1570, 1530, 1520. It depends on the opportunity, but by and large, I think the bias would definitely be to buy this. So with that, I hope that this video has been of use to you. I would like to conclude that please, before you decide to buy Havells based on this video, do analyze a few 150, 200 stocks, so that you see, because obviously just because Havells is bullish weak, you would want to buy it. But what if there are bullish strong stocks or better charts than this? We have only used this because this chart is obviously, this stock is obviously in news, and this is trying to address the query related to how do we use news into technical analysis, and is news absolutely useless? So my answer is no, information is useless. It is just basically what is the role of that information. And if I were to use, I obviously have my own systems which allow me to identify the stocks I want to track regardless of the news. But if I were to use news as a routine, this is how most likely I would do it. And the process of evaluation of price action is something that I have shared. So with that in mind, I would like to thank you for your time, and I would also I also appreciate all those who came to Ahmedabad and visited me at the FinExpo event. It was very nice to see some of you all, and I look forward to meeting you all in such events in the future. So with that, thank you for your time.